I set this up differently for team, I remembered something we did for the club championship, so I can still get a logo or a lower thirds. I don't have time to do it now. All right, let's go. They're practicing.
Yeah, because we're going to take the air, go right up here.
What's that?
I said we'll take
Right here. Let's go.
All right, we got to go. You guys go. We're going to come back right here.
As soon as you see it switch, then you can talk.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pro Bowl West here in Fort Wayne, Indiana for the Indiana High School Bowling State Finals. Scott Gilmore, PBA Hall of Famer Mike Albee back in the booth. Now we're down to our top 4 girls and boys, and what should be always, I think, one of the more exciting telecasts is you get learn a little bit more about each player, but it also goes by really quick. So players are going to have to make quick adjustments, correct?
Yeah, they are, and it's, it was nervous just bowling 3 games this morning to make this part of it. But now there's lights, there's more people concentrated just on you and your opponent. So it's very important to take some deep breaths, use your pre-shot routine so that kind of gets you into a rhythm, but rely on your coach as well.
Well, our top 4 competitors on the girls' side, number 1 seed Allison Lawson, number 2 seed Carly Zucklin, number 3 seed Kylie Trexler, and she'll be taking on Alexa Escamilla here in match number 1. And on the boys' side, our number 1 seed is Javen Dick, number 2 seed Carter Hunt, number 3 seed Drayden Shanelob, and your 4 seed Adam Harrison. And those 2 competitors will be bowling in the first match of the singles portion of the show here. So, again, coaches are going to play a big part in this, not only to get their players lined up, probably to calm the nerves a little bit too.
Oh, the coach is very important in that especially, because they'll be able to be their eyes out there. A second set of eyes always helps with how you're throwing the ball condition, but you got to be careful as a coach not to overcoach, because you want to let these bowlers perform, and they've done a great job to get here. So it's a fine line, but it's all a working relationship for sure.
In our player and TV meeting here that we had just briefly before we took the air, we also told the players, enjoy this moment, because this is a culmination of a lot of hard work. You're getting through sectionals, regionals, semi-state, just to get to this point. But then they had to bowl 3 more games to determine who was our top 4 seeds.
Yeah, and there's only obviously 4 bowlers who make it here to the state finals. So it's the same way on any tournament based, the Pro Bowlers to any of that. If you look at the amount of tournaments that you bowled all those years, it's a very small number that shows you actually made. So when you get the opportunity, you have fun with it, you learn from it, because some of these younger players, they're going to have more opportunities for this. So you want to use this as a learning experience at the very least. Well,
and you mentioned as a learning experience, also, we don't know of these 4 boys and 4 girls who's going to be the next E.J. Tackett, Matt Sanders, all these top players in the PBA and now PWBA tour. We could be seeing the future here of one of those professional sports.
Oh, exactly. And the other thing as well is this is an opportunity. This is a training video that some of these college coaches can look at, and they can see a potential player for their teams. So there's a lot riding on this today, but the main thing is to go out there for the players, have fun, give it everything you got for 1 game, and then just take them and then start another game if you're fortunate enough to move on.
Well, they'll get 4 practice balls on each lane. The girls are going to bowl on 47 and 48. The boys on 49 and 50. We got a great crowd here on hand inside Pro Bowl West. It always is for the Indiana High School Bowling State Championships. We are just lucky to be able to broadcast this to you here on Savage Bowling TV. So we hope you enjoy. The weather's not very good outside, but all the roads were pretty clear as we drove up here to Fort Wayne yesterday. So sit back and relax, and we hope you enjoy the singles portion of the high school state championships here in Indiana. And Mike, you've had a ton of experience bowling stepladder formats. as a PBA competitor, how important in your mind is that number 1 seed? Obviously, Javen Dick for the boys and Allison Lawson. How much of an advantage do those two players have today?
Well, I mean, obviously you would choose to be the leader anytime, because if you're coming up the ladder, there's always a bad break that you can have, whether it's that solid corner pin or some other break that causes you to lose your match and you're out. At least that leader can now focus while you can watch the other players bowl, see how the lanes are changing. You know, they can do a lot of things to prepare. The key for the leader is to sit back and watch what's going on and still pay attention to what you're doing basically in a preparation situation. So, yeah, give me the leader spot anytime, because, you know, that way you're guaranteed that title match. Not guaranteed second. I don't like to hear guaranteed second.
Right.
You're guaranteed an opportunity for that title, and that's what you're here for.
Well, and there is no prize money in this. There's no scholarship money in this. They are bowling for the medal. They're bowling for that resume builder that they can add. And that's something you can never take away from that player, right? You're always going to be known as a state champion. And you're right, there is no second place in this in the player's mind, right? Yeah. They're out here for one goal only, and that is to be a state title holder and really be classified as, you know, in the same aspect as EJ, Matt Sanders, and I'm trying to think of some of the top players on the ladies' side, but we've had some repeat players here on the stepladder final, and I'm pretty sure we've heard the name Kylie Trexler before too as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee if you look in 10 or 15 years, I know I do it, you go back and you see, like this week, the U.S. Open is bowling in Indianapolis. Hey, I like to look at when they hand out the press release, and you see the past winners of that U.S. Open, and I can look to 1989 and see that I won that. You always look back at it.
All right, we're going to get ready to get started here. I believe the girls are going to go ahead and lead off first. And we'll have to find out. And Chad Lester, our director, producer, he knows a lot of these names and familiar on past history too, and Chad will chime in here periodically. But Kylie Trexler, I believe, has been in one of these shows before in the past. I'll have to try to see if I can't get some solid information on that. But I believe we've seen her before. But she'll bowl against Alexa Escamilla. And then we also have Adam Harrison from against Drayden Shanelob. And we do have some information on both players. And Kylie Trexler is going to lead off this show for us. She's a junior. And from Hamilton Heights High School, the Huskies. And I like the color of the school, orange, white, brown. I like the colors. She's a left-hander, so Mike, you got to like that myself as well.
Yeah, I come from the left side. I know a lot about that left side.
And she starts off with a beautiful shot with the strike.
Very smooth player, good rotation on the bowling ball. Really like the way she walked back from the foul line for seeing that shot. Very confident look. That's what you want. Come out there and send a message.
Adam Harrison going to lead off here for the boys. He played bowls for the Marion Knights. Junior, right-hander. Oh, and that ball's high flush too. You know, I'm looking around. His favorite pro, EJ Tackett. No surprise. We're going to hear that name quite a bit here. And now Alexa Escamilla.
Good shot to start. Got the 5 out, leaving just a 7. Nice and smooth. First 3 players, we've seen nothing but very smooth.
She bowls out of Charleston High School, and now this is Drayden Shanelob. She's only a freshman, Mike. We've seen that before too, where, you know, tons of experience here right out of the gate for her career.
We could see a lot of her, yes, for sure.
She's going to try to pick up the 7-pin here. And she does, and now Drayden, he's a senior out of North Miami, the Warriors. His favorite pro is Mike Fagan. I don't know if you're familiar with that name, but Mike used to bowl on the PBA Tour, and we have a little bit of a balk.
Yeah, shooting the 10, just caught, we practiced pair off to the right here about 6 lanes away, and he caught the corner of his eye, saw somebody throwing a practice shot. So just step back off the approach, take a deep breath, and realign.
Well, Escamilla, she's going to throw her second frame, and she throws a beautiful shot there. Now Drayden Shanelob is going to.
Good job. Good comeback after that balk, but good job. That's
Picks
what you
it up.
do.
Yep.
Yeah. Get your concentration broke, then it's time to step back and reload.
Kylie Trexler, her favorite pro, Tom Smallwood and Ronnie Russell. Ronnie, a Hoosier native. Oh, beautiful shot. Boy, the 4-pin just kicked the 7 out. Just the way you want to see it.
As a left-hander, if I can hit half pocket like that and that 4-pin slaps that 7, that shows a lot of things. You've thrown it well, released it well, and a ball hit perfect.
Two-handed release here for Drayden.
So we have some answers on Kylie Trexler. That is Keegan Trexler's cousin. Keegan is a past state champion. I remember seeing Kylie bowl in middle school.
Okay.
A few years ago, and I'm like, she throws the ball well, and here she is.
Boy, she does.
Throws it very well.
She does. She starts out with the front 3. Boy, it's so great to be young, no pressure, right?
I don't know about the no pressure part, but handling it the way they are looks pretty good.
Now Drayden here with the spare attempt on the 4-pin. Qualifying scores were, I would say, moderate. 220 average to lead the boys' side. I didn't quite catch the girls' top score, qualifying score, but on the boys' side was 660. Another nice shot from Alexa there.
Beautiful shot. Staying close. Making sure her opponent doesn't get too far out in front of her there.
Well, and only being a freshman, too. Just to step right into the state championship and just make the show on your first year here as you're eligible. That's saying quite a bit about the young bowler here from Charleston High School. Now another strike there from Adam Harrison. And
well, there's a lot to be said because, this morning you're bowling with a bunch of people bowling around you. Now you're the single focus out there, so it's very difficult.
First mistake of the day. Big 4 for Alexa here in the 4th frame.
Looks like she got that ball just a little bit inside her target, and the ball broke loose on the back end. Yeah, big 4. Just want to make sure you get your 2-pin count here so you don't lose any count.
Adam qualified 2nd in sectionals, then finished 9th in the regional, and just barely snuck in semi-state 10th. So that shows you here he is the 3rd seed.
Great shot.
That just kind of shows you just how good the competition is, especially some of these regions are much more difficult than others.
Yeah, great shots, and you beat some pretty good players just to get to this far, obviously the top 4 in the state.
How important, as you see the coaches talking to their players after all their shots, how important is not only the coach being there to line them up, but also just maybe kind of settle them down a little bit, that comfort zone, right?
Yeah, it's a very fine line. I mean, especially you've got a player that's got 3 in a row. I mean, you don't want to do too much talking, and you just want to make sure that they stay focused, and that's the main thing.
Oh.
Speaking of strikes in a row, wow.
Good break there, Mike, because she was a little off at the foul line there, kind of slipped a little, and was still able to keep the ball on line and high flush strike. And now Drayden here has both Adam Harrison and Kylie Trexler both starting off with the front 3-4 strikes. Drayden went spare. This is a big shot here early on in this match, like you're saying, just to keep pace here. Left lane.
Beautiful shot.
Beauty. What I'm seeing right now, Mike, is it looks like the scoring pace is going to be moderate and too high. That's going to put pressure on these kids to get lined up early, especially in those practice shots they get prior to them taking their match.
Yeah, those are quite important, the practice shots. I mean, you not only do you get your timing back, but you want to make sure you got an idea what the lanes are doing and how they're going to change for you. But we've got 2 bowlers who are lined up.
Well, Kylie with her first mistake here of the 6-10. Adam here, gets half.
Now, Kylie looked just like she got a little soft with that one. It was close. It was in the right area to get a strike, but just a little soft and it broke high. But broke the split down. That 7-pin felt very late.
Well, the 2-4, 5, 7, 8. Not a spare that you really want to shoot at all the time here.
No, and Adam has a little slower ball speed, so you got to be careful how bad that ball's going to break on or how sharply that ball's going to break on the back end. You don't want to, pick this and leave just a 5-pin.
Well, and Alexa here on the right lane on 48 almost left the same thing, but minus the 8-pin. Just the two.
Those are difficult spares.
Yeah, the 2, 4, 5, 7. Ooh, I'm going to say he looked like he missed a little bit left with that. And
yeah, he's got Adam's ball speed. He's got a mid to slower ball speed, so that ball's really going to do a lot of work on the back end.
Now Alexa trying to make the 2, 4, 5, 7 here.
Good job. Great spare.
Good spare.
There's a couple ways to shoot that, and that was one of the ways. Cross over and make sure you get it, but great spare.
All right, she's got 72 in the fourth. She's down 36 here early in this match.
Only halfway through, though, so you just got to make sure you finish the second half.
Lots of things can change here. That one's left, too. Leaves just the 5-pin.
You're right. That ball was left. Adam had the ball a little bit left to target, and but he got it across.
Well, this match has really taken a turn here on the boys' side as Drayden started out with spare, now has a double as Alexa leaves the 7.
That was a good shot, though. She came back, got that ball back in the pocket, just a bad break, leaving the 7.
She's kind of a softer thrower, too, as well as like Adam is here.
Yeah, like a medium to slower ball speed.
And when you have that, you got to make sure the ball doesn't read too early, right?
Well, read too early, when it moves, it goes. It's the speed's not going to hold it back, so you got to be very careful that you get it down the lane.
Good cover there.
That ball bounced out of the channel, I think.
Oh, you're better eyes than me. That's what I get for.
It was close.
That's what I get for reaching down and grabbing a drink.
It was one of those about 6 inches, just in front of it. So she was really close to being on it. But just a.
Well, that's a big mistake for her when she's already down 36 going into that frame.
Well, and then you look at Kylie. So now you're up 40-something. So now it's important to stay on top of your game and continue to make good shots and really not pay too much attention to what your opponent doing. You just want to keep your head down and focus on what you've been doing, which has been very good.
Now Shane Lobb here, working on a double.
Beautiful shot. And
how much more does your arm swing loosen up when you see your opponent go open spare after throwing the front 3?
Yeah, that's the good cliche. Your arm swing loosens up, but it's more you got to be careful that your mental game doesn't loosen up because you still want to dot the I's and cross the T's and make sure you get the lift you need, you get the ball speed you need. You just don't want to overthink it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It shouldn't change anything really, but it may give you a chance to take a deep breath, go, and if you do that, then you got to be careful not to change things.
Well,
that's right.
Working on 3-bagger. He is two-handed, but he doesn't have quite the rotation.
He's going to. Yeah, he's pretty direct. I don't know what the equipment he's using, but the ball is pretty much just online. He's keeping it online. So
10-pin conversion there for Kylie.
But that ball was right.
Right.
So it just didn't recover enough or early enough to get to catch the hit.
And we're so used to seeing the two-handers cover multiple arrows of room, right?
The conditions today here are demanding, and there's I believe it's 44 feet, and so there's some length to it down there.
One thing I do like about it though, Mike, it rewards. Oh, what a break off the wall! The 2-pin comes off and takes out the 8. But how it's kind of nice to see this pattern, what I'm seeing. So it's rewarding the good shots, and you're paying a little bit of a penalty for the bad ones. And that's how you should want it as a player, right?
Yeah, you do want to be rewarded when you make the good shots. But, you can usually see what the mistake has been if you leave something here. So, but everybody's pretty direct, no matter whether it's two-hander or left-hander, right-hander, what. Everybody's fairly direct here.
Well, Alexa here is down 47 in the 7th frame, working on an open frame, right lane on lane 48. Needing to get a strike.
Yeah, she needs
here
to get something going here for sure.
Oh,
and
beauty.
That's a good way to do it.
That is how you do it.
Put it in perspective. She still has 220 left, and Kylie's on a 227 pace. So striking out could put a lot of pressure out there when you need to fill frames.
Well, 6'10" here, standing up for Adam Harrison, and he's down 16. He needs to make this spare and maybe put some pressure here on Mr. Shane Lobb from North Miami, and he does that right there.
Yeah, not like shooting spares when you got a two-pin spare and the ball hits both of them. That's exactly what you want.
Now a big shot here from Alexa. And she got that in just a little left of target there and leaves the 3-pin. We're getting down to crunch time here on match number 1 for both the boys and the girls. You're listening to or watching the Indiana High School Bowling State Championships here on Savage Bowling TV. Scott Gilmore and Mike Albee in the broadcast booth. Just underway here, match number 1 on both sides. And so far, players have been able to strike on good shots. Exactly what you want to see. Oh,
beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. Boy, with the slow ball speed, you're worrying about something weak, but that just shredded the rack.
His Adams bowling ball is definitely turning over at the right time on the lane to get the maximum power when it hits the pins, and that one just drove the 5 right through the back. But that was the best shot he's made in 4 frames for sure.
Now Drayden Shane Lobb back up here on the right lane, lane 50, working on a spare. Didn't like it. Lucky just to leave the 6-pin.
Yeah, it's a fine line between direct and then pulling the ball a little bit, and he got that one left of his target.
And the first miss left of the game for Kylie here, and fortunate just to leave the 3-9. That could have been a 3-7-9 real easy.
Yeah, the ball just didn't quite read the lane early enough, but looked like she threw it well.
Oh, mistake number 1 for Drayden right there, and he knows it. And that's going to tighten things up a bunch. Matter of fact, a couple of strikes, and Adam Harrison can take the lead back. That needs to hook. Oh, and it doesn't. I was just getting ready to say all Kylie needs to worry about is filling frames at this point.
Yeah, she moved a little bit to a little bit different part of the lane to shoot that. The ball just didn't want to read the lane early enough to get across that 3 and the 9, coming in behind and missing the 3.
Now a big shot here for Drayden.
Beautiful shot.
Boy, and that's kind of like, it's amazing how many times the pros can do that on television, make a bad shot, and then totally recover.
Yeah, that was
and
a great
throw
shot.
10 back, and that's exactly what he did.
That's that fine line of being straight and left to target, and that was right what he was looking at.
Oh, Kylie with a rack ripper there on lane 47.
Good comeback there, yeah, good shot.
Most that Alexa can shoot is 200 on the nose. Really, Kylie just needs a good pin count here in the 10th. Oh, high flush strike for Adam. And this match has gotten interesting here on the boys' side.
Yeah, that's Adam from the first 3 frames.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what he looked like in the first 3 frames.
Alexa's not going to win this match and win the state championship, but what for a freshman to get this amount of experience and to go this deep, I'm sure we'll be hearing from her again here later on in her high school career.
Yeah, she's picked up a lot of experience today, and the coaches are talking to her now, and she doesn't look nervous at all. She's made some really good shots. There's only been a couple frames where she missed a little bit. The ball's hit well. It looks great. She's got great direction, so it's a great day for Alexa.
Oh, what a break for Adam Harrison. It was left off the hand. He gets the Brooklyn strike, and if you're Shane Lobb, you don't even want to look at that, right?
Yeah, as far as the only thing you need to know is it was a strike, and you need to get some yourself.
Well, he's going to finish the match first, so important for him to good thoughts in your head, right? And then all you can do is make a good shot here at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's a big 9th frame, too, to set up the 10th, so he's going to need this one.
Looks good. Oh, and it didn't hook. He liked it. He yelled it to hook a little bit, but sometimes we do that just because that's what we want it to do, but we still like it off our hand, and kind of surprised that.
Yeah, there's just not a lot when you get it away or to the right.
And that's a 2.58. That's going to be a tough spare. And it's really, Mike, it's a must make after your opponent has a 3-bagger. Oh, good
Nice
cover.
spare. That is a tough one. That was a great spare.
I'm sure in his mind he'd love to have that 10-pin back
Yeah, well, that was a great shot.
in the 7th frame where he missed it too even.
Yeah.
Because if he makes that, he still would force Adam to get the first one in the 10th to win.
Yeah, you don't want to give help to your opponent. It happens, but you don't want to.
Right. Well, in a double here in good count, he's going to force Adam to show up in the 10th frame and mark.
And the key here is it's a double, but you need to get the first one, so you just concentrate on one shot at a time. It's all right again, but Power got it back.
Well, the girls' match has been decided. Kylie Trexler is going to advance over Alexa Escamilla from Charlestown High School. She'll move on to take on Kylie Zucklin from Highland High School. But a good showing here at the state championships for Alexa. Nothing to hold your head on. Being a freshman and make the top 4 right out of the gate, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well,
Great shot by Drayden. You look at this. I mean, this is the state tournament, but it's really the tournament. The state tournament started back in December, so
right.
Yeah, so it's a long tournament.
It's just steps,
yeah,
right?
It's steps. So yeah, it's a tremendous amount of bowling, and what a great job just to get this far.
Just to qualify for state.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many singles competitors here.
No.
On each side. So just to get to this point, regardless of making the top 4,
if you look at the numbers,
is an accomplishment.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers across the state, how many participated, it's a pretty good percentage that you got here with 4.
He just needs good count. That'll be fine. That's going to make Adam mark in the 10th.
It's a very difficult line Drayden was playing. I mean, he's got a good look, but he's got to make good shots, and it's very important how he gets it through the front part of the lane to make sure he's got it in position in the back. But 212, that's a good game.
Yeah, and Kylie's just quietly over there going to shoot 230.
Yeah. That's a very good game. She do
Yeah,
it very well this game.
And if you're Carly, you got to be thinking, I'm going to have to bowl a pretty good game here. She's lined up. Big shot here. Oh, he throws
That's a pretty close shot.
high flush, and he will defeat Drayden Shanelob. And he's going to be in the 220s, and I know the disappointment of Drayden here coming up short as he's a senior here. This is his last event as a high school bowler, and it's painful anytime you know your career is done.
Yeah, you put a lot into it, and but there are other things to move to, college and things like that, bowling. But great shot by Adam there in the 10th frame, clutch strike, blowout, 4-pin.
Well, he's going to shoot with the mark 228, and he'll advance on to take on Carter Hunt, sophomore out of Western High School. But boy, if both players really, as he misses spare, meaningless, but you got to think both Carter and Carly coming in, they got to be thinking their opponents are lined up. Both shot high 220, low 230 game. They're going to have to come in. These practice shots are going to be extremely important for both players, knowing that they're going to have to possibly shoot a big game to advance.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that for a short second, and then once you get out there, then it's all what you do. So, yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, great game. The other thing you think about is, maybe that was it for them. So,
right.
But you got to go out there and do what you can do. And that's going to be send messages earlier that, hey, I'm here too, and I'm lined up, and I'm ready to go, which is exactly what you said. These practice balls are important.
All right, that wraps up match number 1 here. Adam Harrison shoots 227 to defeat Drayden Shanelov's 212. And Kylie Trexler on the girls' side defeats Alexa Escamilla 235 to 164. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back. Hey, we got a special guest going to join us in the broadcast booth for match number 2. We'll be back right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back here to Pro Bowl West here at Fort Wayne, Indiana for the Indiana High School Bowling State Championships. Special guest in the broadcast booth, Deandra Asbady, who threw out the ceremonial first ball before we took the lanes here for the singles portion of qualifying. And Deandra, you just saw match number 1. Pretty exciting. Both the boys were lined up, shooting good games, and Kylie Trexler with 235. She looks pretty tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good next 2 matches. Actually, I'm excited for these kids' future. You know, I'm excited because I kind of know what comes next, and they are just setting themselves up for a really successful collegiate career, maybe the pros, maybe Team USA. I mean, these kids can bowl.
Well, speaking of pros and Team USA, you guys have all the pro experience, but Deandra, you bowled for Team USA for so many years and such a great experience for that, All-American at Nebraska. What I know you said a few things before the kids started bowling. What was that message? And you're such an ambassador of the sport.
Thank you. I actually read them a letter that I wrote to my 16-year-old self, because a lot of these kids are around that age, and when you're in the moment, you don't realize what's going to come. You don't realize that the losses that you're enduring is the lesson, and I kind of want to give them a heads up and to tell them that, you know, even when it seems like it's the end of the world, it's not. And those losses will then help you catapult to a lot more wins. And also, I just wanted to tell them how important their parents are, their coaches are, and kind of give them a little bit of a different way to look at it. Because, like I said, when you're in it, sometimes you don't see it, right?
Right. Yeah. You stick around for us this match and help us commentate here.
Yeah.
We have Kylie Trexler leading off here in her match with a 7-pin. And leading off is Carter Hunt, the sophomore from Western. And Mike, he's in trouble right out of the gate with the 2-4-10.
Yeah, not the start he was looking for, I'm sure, but it's makeable.
Oh, and Kylie opens, misses the 7-pin. And Deandra, you have a ton of experience in bowling step ladder events, and what would you tell yourself here as you're about to take place in this match? Because, as you know, they go by so quick, and there's so much pressure.
Man, you know, I was just going to say that today, it's just, I'm feeling the pressure. Like, you know, knowing that you only had 3 games to actually get to this position for a state title was, I don't know, I was really nervous for these kids bowling, because you really do need to get out of the gate quick and keep your mistakes to a minimum and really focus on you and not look around. And I think that's the secret. It's really controlling the controllable, like what can you control, and let's put your intention and focus into that.
All right, Carly Zucklin here on the right lane just struck. She's a junior for Highland High School. Her favorite bowler is a really up-and-coming and actually been bowling really well on the PWBA Tour is Julia Bond out of Illinois, I believe, right?
Yeah, now coaching at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll help, help
there
her
you go.
maybe get to the University of Nebraska. You know, a funny story about Carly. I bowled youth adult when I was a kid with her dad. Northwest Indiana. Yeah.
Oh, she starts out with a double, and she's really going to put the pressure on Kylie here, Mike.
She obviously took care of her practice shots that she got lined up, and came out firing. Great shots, both of them.
All right, Adam Harrison here looking to pick up the 10-pin here to start his game out. And Kylie, she put a note here. She wanted me to say hi to Jacob Buttriff, the PBA star left-hander out of Arizona. So we'll do that for her. Hi, Jacob. Jacob had a rough go at the U.S. Open, but as good as Jacob is, he'll rebound.
Yeah.
And it's good to see the guys out on tour right now. We're seeing TV shows on a regular basis. Kind of nice.
Yeah, it's so fun. Did you guys watch the PBA Junior?
Yes.
That was amazing. I run a youth tour out of the Chicagoland area, the Elite Youth Tour, and I had 3 of the 4 bowlers on that show, and Landon Jordan and Jillian Martin just crushed it. And they started my tour when they were like 9. It's super cool to see the future of the sport.
Speaking of that, how can young players and even young parents who might have kids that are trying to become better, how can they learn more about your tour?
Oh, yeah, eliteyouthtour.com. Thanks. Yeah, and the Facebook page, we have a very active Facebook page, so check us out there. And Kylie, they have both actually bowled. I don't know if they both won, but they've both bowled my tour. So it's fun to see Carly and Kylie out here competing against each other for a state title.
And she makes that 7-pin.
That's hard, right? Right after you miss one.
It's almost like the bowling gods are saying, you're going to have to make one before we give you that strike, right?
And all you are thinking is just don't leave another one.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're thinking, yeah. And if somebody tells you they're not thinking that, they're wrong, because you know they are.
They are.
And you and I have left plenty of 7-pins in our life, I'm sure, Mike.
Yeah.
Probably me more than you.
And I've missed them too. So.
All right, split here, conversion for Adam Harrison. And he'll just take the 6 and the 10 off.
It's all about the rebound, though, right?
Boy, certainly so here.
Now she comes in high and leaves the 2-7. And little nerves here, I think, at the start for Carter Hunt, right? He missed one way right and then missed his spare attempt way left. So can he calm the nerves down here and get his feet underneath him? As his opponent now just gave him another open. So, ooh, that one's way right. He looks a little rattled.
Yeah, you know, it's a big moment for these kids. They've been thinking about this moment for a very long time, and now it's here, and it's really getting your emotions in check is key. And I think right now he's just he's feeling it and not able to manage it yet. But I have confidence that he's going to start breathing deeper and slowing things down.
The mind can make the body do terrible things.
Or great things.
Yeah, or great things. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
And that's really the sign of a player at its peak, is when he can overcome the negative thoughts and keep reaffirming the positives in his mind.
That was a pretty solid return right there, coming back off that shot to throw a good one to get that spare.
Now, here's Carly, and she misses a head pin right, leaves the 1-2. She's got a 21-pin lead here over Kylie here early in their match.
But it's not how you start. It's how you finish, right?
Absolutely. We've all had many games where we look like we were going to shoot 230 or 40, and then we're scrambling to try to get 190.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That one misses right. He's throwing urethane, too. It's the first bowler I've seen throw urethane.
It's maybe a touch too fast. Needs to roll it just a little bit more.
Deandra, did you do a lot of coaching, or?
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I love coaching groups. I don't do any formal team coaching, but all ages. Yep.
You know, and I saw you last at one of your first coaches you've had, unfortunately, at his funeral, and that was Mr. Tucker.
Yeah.
And I went to college with Scott, known the family for many years, and obviously knew his dad quite well, and how important. I loved how you spoke highly, and you put a little vlog out there about the importance of him in your career as a young person and the sacrifices coaches make for these players, right?
Yeah, he never charged us a dime, but we saw him every single night, and we practiced with him after the leagues got done, 9:30 to midnight, and he'll always hold a very special place in my heart because he's the reason why I loved bowling first. I did it for fun, but once he showed me that I could actually be good, it was all uphill, all good things from there, and I just appreciate, Mr. Tucker. And it's sad that sometimes when you have to lose somebody to really reminisce. And I really wish in the last 10 years, we're in Chicago, they're in Northwest Indiana. I just wish we would have seen each other more, and now I can't, and that was really hard for me. But I hope that he knew that he was the reason that I went on to do some cool things in bowling.
Well, the fruits of his labor were you and your sister's success, and both of you two were extremely successful bowlers.
Thank you.
And now Adam here looking to double up here in the fourth frame, and he misses a head pin right. Fortunate to leave the 1, 2, 4, 5. And now Kylie Trexler trying to cut back into that deficit, Mike, here. She's looking to get her first strike of the match here in the fourth frame. Oh.
That's a good shot there, yeah.
Whatever she did was right. It was the right move.
And
that's the thing. There's no timeouts in bowling, right?
No. And that's why I think the coaches are very important in this segment, don't you believe? That they can help or break you here.
Oh, yeah. And, they're so behind them right now. It's really nice to see that, you have somebody to bounce ideas off of or settle you down and just to be with you through everything because they're feeling it just as much. They want, the player to win just like as if they were bowling out there.
Oh, she trips the 6. Something I couldn't do last weekend in the Masters. She does it, and that's a huge double here, and she's telling Carly that she's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, there's still a lot of game left. Those are really good, those two hands.
Oh, yeah. Great shot there from Carter. And you couldn't have any more of a disastrous start in his mind. You split 7 whiff, and then you throw a gutter ball.
Right.
But he's right there.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, when you start bad, you're like, well, it's just uphill from here.
Right.
It can't get any worse, so let's just settle in and enjoy this moment. And that's the key, too, is, they're going to remember this for a really long time, and having intention with every shot and just really focusing on where you're sliding and what you want to hit is the key to drowning out all the noise.
That looks like a good shot there, too. Oh, my goodness. He rips a rack in the 5-pin stands. Wow. I love his confidence because we always ask in the bios, they put their favorite pros and some other sayings. His favorite pro, he says, myself. That's a sign of confidence right there.
That
right?
sure is.
Oh, Carly misses the 10-pin.
We've seen some great physical games out of the first 6 bowlers. Very, very solid.
Yeah, I think we can attribute to good coaching. Because these kids, they wouldn't have such great fundamentals without somebody that understood fundamentals, right?
And it's a demanding condition, really. I mean, it's very important that you get close to your target and where you miss, you can't miss up front at all.
Right.
Well, that gave Carter's got a 9-pin lead now through 4. And a great shot come back there from Carly. And it's a pretty tight-knit community, though, the bowling world is, and it's good to see coaches from other teams, giving kids 5 and just giving them signs of encouragement. It's really a small, tight-knit community. Oh, it's a terrible break. Oh, yep, 10-pin falls. Almost disaster for Adam Harrison.
The sportsmanship is really great, and I think it starts with the coach,
Right.
That they're going to kind of mimic the behavior that their coach is showing from a young age. So it's important that coaches, show them the way. And I know on my tour, I am most proud of how my bowlers behave, and I do not put out very easy conditions. So it's very grueling But I tell them at the beginning of the day, I don't have any tolerance for bad behavior, and keep it together, and they do, because it's all part of sport. It's not always going to be easy, and how can you behave when things aren't going your way?
Absolutely.
And you're not just representing yourself.
Right.
It could be a company. It could be your parents. It could be your school. It could be all sorts.
Yeah.
And, I was always told everyone is watching. I've always been told that. Everyone is watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know who is in that everyone. So, it's always important to represent yourself to the best of your own ability.
Especially these older kids, they still think of themselves as kids, but they don't realize there's a little boy in the back that's watching them, and it's important to show that boy how professional you are. That was a great shot.
Great rebound there off the open frame from Adam Harrison in the 6 with the strike. And just a 12-pin game here between Carly and Kylie. And Kylie now comes in high with a 2-7. Yeah, speaking of young kids, there happens to be this young man to my left here in a red hat. He keeps over here taking pictures of, I think, Mom.
Yeah. Can you believe that's my son? He's almost taller than me. It's crazy. Man, time does fly. That's another thing. You really need to savor every moment out here, at home.
Well, and we just said that when Drayton Shanelob, realized he lost as Adam struck the first ball in the 10th, and, his head goes down. And at that point, as a senior, you realize, my high school career is done. A big part of my bowling career has completed, and it's always sad to see because, you do move on, and hopefully these kids decide to bowl college, as you and I both bowl college, and it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, I think it's okay to be sad for a moment and then realize, what's next? What else can I do in this sport? And man, college bowling is thriving right now, especially NCAA. There's just so many great programs out there where there's a lot of money, and you really don't have to be, a 220 average bowler. You can be okay and get a scholarship to these colleges, and I hope that these girls listening know that.
Oh, and Carly comes in and shreds the rack, and the 7-pin stands. She was looking to double up there and really take the lead back in this match as Kylie opened in the 7th. And now Adam Harrison finds himself in a pressure situation here. Oh my goodness, and leaves a stone 8.
That was a bad break.
Wow. And you're watching Carter kind of get comfortable now, right? He's thrown 2-3 good shots in a row here. Starting to get a little comfortable.
Yeah.
Adam Harrison's got to answer that. Boy, it's a terrible break when you throw a great shot and leave the 8. And Carly misses the 10 or 7-pin again. She's missed the 7 and the 10.
Sometimes when your angles just aren't right and something's off a little bit with your body, it's just easy to do that. That's why it's real important to just focus on your target and just watch your ball roll over it, right?
I always like to throw spares straighter.
Yes.
And you see a lot of these kids trying to hook the whole lane. I just didn't want to take – that's so much room for error there, in my opinion.
So much. Yeah, that'll only get you so far.
And a 3-pin there for Carly. And now Adam Harrison trying to recover from the bad break here in the 7th with the stone 8-pin. He throws a beautiful shot. He could easily have really 4 in a row.
Yeah, those were some really great shots.
He missed the 10-pin in the 5th and then struck on the left and 8-pin on the right and came back with a strike on the left. So important spare here for Carly, and she misses another single-pin spare. Mike, is that nerves, you think?
Well, I think once it starts, then it's tough not to step back and just take a deep breath, and that's where Coach gets to her now and just kind of calming her down a little bit and kind of just refocus. It's just a matter of one shot at a time.
Boy, and Carter getting quite acclimated now with the TV pair on 49 and 50. And now
also, it's really easy to step up there and try to win.
Right.
Once you start actually trying, it's all downhill. If you go up there and you leave an easy spare and you just say to yourself, I I just need to hit that. Just execute a good shot and hit my target. You'll make it most of the time, but if you're trying to win or trying not to lose, that's when
that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when that happens.
Too much thinking going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great shot there. A great break for
Okay.
Carter.
What did we talk about that comeback? Didn't we talk about that?
Yes.
That's not how you start.
Yeah, absolutely. And you keep grinding away, and you made a point to that, Deandra, in a way where in your tour that you run, you put hard patterns out, and players have to learn to grind and battle a little bit of adversity in a sense too as well. And
For sure. And I tell them, I was like, you might not like me today, but you'll thank me later. And they do.
must strike here for Adam Harrison to have any chance. Oh, and he does. Got a feel for him because he had a chance to really put some heat on Carter if he would have carried that 8-pin. And, a great break for Kylie Trexler here in the 9th. 181 max score for Carly. And 183 pace for Kylie. So, chance possibly for a tie somewhere in there or a dramatic finish.
Yeah, there's no easy spares out there right now.
233 max score for Carter Hunt. 193 for Adam. This is a must strike here in the 10th. Left lane.
That's a great. He's living in the pocket.
Yeah.
He really has good control right now. I really wish they had something like this when I was a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I bowled a lot of state tournaments, but never like a high school.
Yeah, it was a club sport.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as.
That was a good shot.
She really needed that one. She could still spare and strike out for 170. That would still force Kylie to mark in the 10th. Yeah. Must have this one for Adam here. This would at least make Carter show up in the 10th frame. And that
overthrew it a little bit.
Yeah, his room for recovery is not as great as obviously Carter throwing it with two hands, a little more rev rate, but Adams bowled so well.
Yeah, he did bowl a solid game.
Of course, what do they always tell you? Make your spares,
Yeah.
boys and girls, right? Got to make the ones that are makeable.
Yeah. Spares win tournaments.
And really, when you sit back and you look at the Carly and Kylie's match, the difference is just Carly not making single pin spares.
Yeah.
Really, if she gets the 3 back that she missed, she's right there in this game.
Yeah. And she's got one more year. She'll be able to come back and
4-6-10, and that's gonna pretty well wrap up the match for Kylie.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well.
Wow. And how big would have been? Aerosmith wrote a song about that, Living on the Edge, and that one was living on the edge.
On a 4-bagger. If somebody would have told him after the third ball that he rolled that he would win this game, I don't know if he would believe it.
No, I agree. But I'll tell you what, the 4th shot showed a lot about his makeup because he came back after that gutter and then picked it right back up.
Now he's going for it. Oh, that would have been fun.
Tried to back up ball here at the.
And that is why he is his own favorite pro bowler.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Carter Hunt defeats Adam Harrison 194 to 179. He'll advance to take on Javen Dick from McCutcheon High School for the state championship. And now all that's left in the Carly Zucklin and Kylie Trexler match is the final score as Kaylee's going to advance, or excuse me, Kylie. And Mike, her ball reaction not quite the same as it was in match number 1.
I think it's got a little trickier, but I think that she makes a little bit better shot. She'll be fine. But
she
she
has
had a
no
couple
one
iron
to
shots.
blame but herself, right?
Yeah,
Because no one's on that side.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to change some, but it's going to be. But she's made some pretty good shots. But once again, I mean, she missed a spare early to get herself in trouble, and so she threw some good shots to get back in it. But I think she just got to make cleaner shots.
And spares are the key.
Yeah. Especially out here, because boy, you can miss a little bit, and you've got all sorts of designs out there.
All right, our Kylie Trexler advances over Carly Zucklin 189 to 147, and Carter Hunt defeats Adam Harrison 194 to 179. So your final match here for both the boys and girls, Carter Hunt will take on Javen Dick. Kylie Trexler will take on Allison Lawson. Deandra, thanks for stepping in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Are you going to be around for the team event?
Yeah, I'm going to be watching them. I'm going to be weaving in and out of all of the people and, cheering them all on.
Deandra, thank you so much for all you do for bowling and what you've accomplished in yourself personally. But, boy, we certainly thank you for coming here to Indiana and helping us and continue to push bowling everywhere you go. But you're an honor to have in the industry for sure.
Thank you. That's an honor coming from you. I appreciate that.
All right, Deandra Asbeatty, everyone. And we'll be back with the title match on both the boys and girls side right after this. All right, welcome back here to Championship Pro Bowl West. That's another Dave Small Center, Championship Lanes in Anderson. We're going to be back there next week for the Queens here in the state of Indiana. But welcome back here to Pro Bowl West. We're in our championship match. Scott Gilmore, Mike Albee here in the broadcast booth. I want to thank Deandra Asbeatty for stepping in with us. Always a pleasure to talk to her, a great ambassador of the sport of bowling. But now, here we go. One match, winner claims the title. Can't get any better than this.
No, this is exciting, and you just wonder how they've got this far without nerves, but it's a tough one.
First shot from Allison Lawson, the junior for the Griffith Panthers. Her favorite bowler, gotta love this, Kevin McCune. Hey, we know that name quite well, right, from Northern Indiana. And She finished 4th in sectionals, 9th in regionals, and 5th in semi-state. And Carter Hunt starts out with the strike. And here's our first look at senior Javen Dick from McCutcheon High School, the Mavericks out of Lafayette, Indiana. Oh, and he shreds the rack. And he's got a crowd here behind him. His favorite pro, Mike, Norm Duke.
Oh, you can't beat that. I mean, Norm can play anywhere on the lane, throw the ball any way he wants to. He's one of the best pros ever.
We'll call Javen Steady Eddie. He finished 3rd in sectionals, regionals, and semi-state. So he was up there in all of the qualifiers for the state championships, and now he finds himself number 1 seed. Starts off with a perfect strike here. Left lane, frame number 2. Oh, yeah, he is ready.
Very smooth, very confident. Great shots, good start.
And now Kylie Trexler, she starts out with the strike. She's run the ladder here so far. She was qualified in the 4th position. And she leaves the 6'10", the old announcer jinx, right out of the gate.
That was a good shot. The ball just broke a little sharper, and but good break, getting just a 6 and 10.
Oh, come on, 7-pin. And it doesn't cooperate.
I say
Great
did
shot.
everything but hit it, but
Yeah.
it did hit the 7, just didn't knock it over. Yeah, it was a great shot. Great shot.
And a spare conversion for Kylie.
The title match here, like I said, it's going to be the same thing as last couple. It's fill the frames, make your spares, take your time, get yourself set, do all your thinking before you step up on the approach.
Now a spare conversion here for Carter, frame number 2. In his mind, that looked all but going over.
Oh,
and your opponent.
Yeah, it's surprising it didn't.
Yeah, and your opponent starts out with 2 really good shots. And now Allison Lawson here on the right lane. Comes in light, leaves the bucket.
Little firm speed. The ball just didn't get a chance to read the lane early enough.
Who's more nervous, the bowlers or the coaches?
I'm sure the coaches are, because the bowlers at least get out there and get involved in actually throwing the ball. So I would think the coaches are.
Yeah, but what about the parents?
Oh, yeah.
And the parents definitely are.
Yeah.
Because they have no input at this point. It's all on the kids and the coaches.
Well, we're going to have to reset lane number 50 as the 7-pin. Oh. And, boy, Carter pick up the ball left-handed here, Mike. He's left back-to-back 7s now.
Yeah, that was a little bit different. That ball was just kind of fading the whole way, but caught enough on the back end where the other one actually was making a move towards the pocket.
And Allison opens in the 2nd frame. But as we were talking the previous match and how Deandra had said right out of the gate, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that was evident for Carter in the last game, as he struggled to start but then found his groove in the middle part of that game, and could be the same way here as he makes the spare.
Well, and both players are both the guys here are very confident, and with Carter, I mean, he shows his mettle by adversity. He came back and made great shots and actually won the match. So now he's got himself in a fight for the tournament title here, in the state title.
Now Allison Lawson misses left, 5-pin.
One of those overcorrections, a little light the last frame, so it's easy to overcorrect, leaving just a 5. Now, like you said, take a deep breath, get your spare. That's right.
Oh, wow! Hit him thin, watch him spin right there.
We have not seen anybody bring a ball back from that part of the lane yet. And that was, what a great shot. Good ball speed, good release, great carry.
All right. That ball went out for 7 pins and took 10 back.
But Javen he's got an even keel attitude out there. He's not getting overexcited. He's just making shots.
Oh, and Allison misses the 5-pin. That is a big miss there.
Yep.
Now, can Kylie kind of take control of this match here early? That one's way right, too, and leaves the 7. Boy, when you let go of that, you're just thinking, man, how is that going to get back? And, boy, that light hit, boy, it just seems to mix the pins up so well.
Yeah. Great shot on a 3-bagger. Don't let it get away now.
Oh,
wow,
and a strike for Kylie.
Power shot. Great shot. Drove that 5 into the 10. What a beautiful ball. That was great.
All right, good
takes
spare
takes
there.
the speed off that and plays the hook on the lane and covers that up.
Well, fans, stick around this afternoon. We're going to be back on the air around 4 o'clock or so for both boys and girls team event. Baker format, exciting. It's going to be loud.
Oh, my.
And a solid 9-pin for Kylie. So
Kylie with a smile on her face. That's about all you can do with that. What a beautiful shot.
So stick around. We appreciate you watching here on Savage Bowling TV. Indiana High School bowling at its best.
Beautiful shot. 10 back. Good direction. Great shot. Now here's a big one for him to get back in it.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, this strike right here in the 5th frame is going to tell Javen a lot about what Carter's plans are here in this game. Strike here
If
tells.
Javen's paying attention.
Yeah.
He's come out firing.
He's kind of flirted here a little bit in those last couple of shots.
Yeah, I was surprised both those got back, but boy, he's got the right ball speed where he's able to get that ball to catch the lane early enough to read it.
Oh, flat 10.
I did not see that coming. That was a good shot. Good shot.
He hasn't had much luck.
No.
2 7-pins and now a 10-pin here through 5. He's yet to connect a strike. Better shot from Allison. Comes in light, 8-pin.
Much better. Much better.
Almost looks like she needs something that picks up a little bit earlier than what she's throwing right now.
Yeah, she's playing fairly direct, and she has good ball speed. So, yeah, she would need something a little sooner, just a little bit.
Oh, and a big miss there from Carter in the 5th frame. You know, you don't. Javen gets right up real quick out of his chair. It's like
he knows what he's doing.
Smells blood in the water almost, right?
He knows what he wants to do, and he's very confident. He hasn't got overexcited. He's just making shots.
McCutcheon didn't qualify for team events, so this is the only representative here from the Mavericks.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's just what I'm worried
than the
about.
Other two. Yeah, that's farther than the other two to the right. Yeah.
You know, you're flirting with a 2-8-10.
Yeah, that was a big break, knocking that 10 down, leaving just the 2. That's left. Oh,
and
good
she
break.
gets it. Brooklyn strike there for Allison, and she needed that, Mike.
Yeah, not only on the scoreboard, but I think mentally that way it gets her back into it and can relax a little bit.
He's even flirting with that on the spare even. And I think if I'm the coaching staff, I'm like, hey, we need to tighten that angle up a little bit. Yeah. All right, now here's Kylie Trexler in the 5th frame, right lane, working on a spare and make that a strike.
Yeah, that solid 9 between 2 strikes, those you remember for a while.
Yeah, she has yet to strike on the left lane in this game. And now, here's Javen, left lane, working on a spare. Oh, wow. Comes in light. Much tighter angle there, though, right?
Yeah, that ball definitely had a better look at it. But, yeah, that 7-pin between Carter and Javen, I mean, they've left 4 7-pins, I think.
And the first strike of the game on the left lane for Kylie, and it's a big one.
Yeah.
She's got a 26-pin lead through 4, make it 36 now.
Yeah, she's made much smoother, cleaner shots this game than last game.
And now Javen here, left lane. 7-pin conversion, gets it. He's got a 30-pin lead, Mike, through 5, and now Carter Hunt's forced to, he's got to start throwing strikes. And now Allison looking for the first double of the game.
That's right.
And that comes in light. Oh, just leaves the 2. Can't get a trip. She could have cut that deficit down to 16 with a strike there. And now Carter Hunt, he's looking to get back on the strike train here in the 6th. Ooh, bucket.
Now Carter just can't get that ball to read, like Javen says, read early enough to get to that head pin.
Yeah, and he looked like a little quick on the speed maybe too.
Yeah, a little to the right. It looks good. I mean, it had a great trajectory, and it just doesn't finish off in the back end.
Well, urethane's not going to hook like that resin ball, right?
It's going to have to read earlier, yeah.
Right. They almost say with urethane, you're playing the front part half of the lane than you are the back half, right?
And that's definitely what we're seeing so far.
Yeah. Big spare here and a tough one. Oh, good cover.
Yeah,
good cover.
Pretty shot.
He's probably thinking, gosh, you make that tough one and you miss a single pin. That's just drives you nuts as a bowler. Brooklyn, no. 10 pin. Allison just can't get anything going.
I mean, she still just needs to make the spares and move on to the next frame. It's just, it's all you can do, one shot at a time. As we've seen these matches change a little bit here each time, none of these matches are runaways.
Light, 2 pin. You know, and here's the thing. When Javen misses right, that ball recovers and hits light. That urethane that Carter's throwing, it's not going to do that.
No, he's leaving 2 pins where Javen's leaving 7 pins.
Right.
Javen has a chance to strike, and Carter has a chance to leave a split.
I'm almost kind of surprised that Carter hasn't moved a little right with the feet, maybe tighten that angle up a little bit and use his ball speed to his advantage.
Maybe so. I mean, I think mentally you got to worry about, but you bowled the last game and
Right.
it actually worked for you. So now you're kind of caught in that. Do you or don't you?
Yeah, oof. Extra coat of paint on that pin gets the spare. Still 3 frames to go in the boys' match. Plenty of time left. Now a shot for Kylie here. Can she extend the strike streak? She does with a 3-bagger.
A little soft on the speed, but right part of the lane. Smooth, clean arm swing, which obviously you don't get those kind of breaks unless you get it smooth off your hand.
Right.
And, great shot.
The orange and white of the Huskies here for Kylie Trexler. And funny to watch her coach over here on the left. He is pacing around like you wouldn't believe. We talked about who would be more nervous, the player or the coach. I think on Kylie's side, it's definitely the coach here. He's been pacing all over the place. That one's left. Oh, and it comes back. Oh, what a shot.
It was left, but I'll tell you what, she had more on that release than she'd had previously. So great shot, though.
She missed a little left on that, and that ball came back.
She threw it good.
She's pretty much forced Allison to strike out here and have any chance. And now Javen here, left lane, 8th frame, working on a strike. Oh, and he shreds the rack, and he knows it.
Yeah. That's the most emotion we've seen yet. Great shots. Great shots. Nice and smooth. There's a good shot. Good.
And for Javen, what a way it would be to end your high school career as a state singles champion.
Yeah, and he's not. It's in his hands now, so he just needs to go out there and make good shots in the 9th and 10th, and he can be the state champion for 2022.
Yeah, must strike here for Carter and Bucket. See, that's where the urethane just isn't going to react like.
Because both bowlers, I mean, the ball's basically in the same part of the lane when they're down at the end. And as you can see, Javen's ball makes that move back, and Carter's just wants to wiggle a little bit and not get up in there to get that strike.
All right, 9th frame here for Allison Lawson.
Good
working
shot
on
the
a
last
strike.
time. Yeah, good shot the
Good
last
shot
time.
here. Oh, yeah, she doubles in the 9th.
Good shot.
She's letting Kylie Trexler know, I'm not going away yet.
Yep.
But Kylie Trexler with the advantage with 4 in a row here, frames 5 through 8. Working in the 9th frame as Carter picks up the bucket for the 2nd time in this game.
He's throwing a good game. I mean, he's been all over it, really, right around the pocket. Just, I mean, not even though he's leaving those 2 pins and buckets, I mean, he's just not that far off.
Oh, and she comes back and shreds the rack in the 9th. And really, the first 5 frames have dictated a lot for Carter. He threw the first 5 shots about as good as you can throw it, and he got 2 strikes. Yeah. And if he gets 3 or 4 out of there, totally different.
Yeah.
That one crosses the head pin, and he leaves the 6-9.
And that one you could see at the bottom of the swing, just trying to get a little more on it to get that ball to break back, and just made it break loose a little earlier.
Comes in high with the 2-4-7, but that's going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. Kylie Trexler from Hamilton Heights High School, the junior, will claim the state championship on the girls' side. And Carter Hunt with a miss in the 9th. And Javen Dick, the senior from McCutcheon High School on the boys' side, will claim the 2022 state singles championship on the boys' side. And both Kylie and Javen bowled a phenomenal game here to win it.
They did. They came out and continued to do what they'd been doing all day and actually for months here to get this far. But great bowling today.
223.4. Ooh, and the first little mistake there from Javen. And as Allison comes in light, leaves the washout, the 1-2-4-10. And really, to be honest with you, Mike, Javen's been flirting with that a little bit, has he not?
He has, but I think now, the pressure's off. I mean, it was
maybe
all
relax a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. But yeah, he definitely tested the limits a little farther than those other ones, for sure.
179 max score for Carter Hunt. And Javen already in the 180s. Now let's get a spare here, Allison.
Oh,
And she
good
misses
run at
it.
Good run out.
And Allison will finish with 167. Kylie Trexler wins on the girls' side, your champion from Hamilton Heights, 223 to 167 over Allison Lawson. And what a day for Kylie Trexler. And Chad, that name strikes again, right? The Trexler name.
Yeah, for sure. When I saw her bowl in middle school a few years ago, like I said, I knew she threw the ball well, and we would see her in one of these shows.
Boy, and any advantage, she bowled great. Any advantage of being by herself there on that left side, Mike?
I don't think so. I mean, I think she just made great shots. And, the thing here was, I mean, you only had basically, in a small format like this, we're only bowled 3 games. So, she had almost as many games as they had on the right. So it's not going to make that big of a difference. She throws the ball very well and is a deserving state champion.
All right, and misses the spare. But your champion on the boys' side, Javen Dick, the senior from McCutcheon High School out of Lafayette, wins with a 197 score. And the only final thing we got to figure out is the final score for Carter Hunt. But what a great day, too, for Carter. He won the semifinal match here over Adam Harrison. And the sophomore from Western, hey, he's got plenty of time left to come back here and do the same thing again and maybe claim his championship next year.
Well, I mean, he has a great mental game, great physical game. So he made some great moves out there. This is definitely one of those learning positions. He never gave it up. Gave him a chance to get to the title, and he got there. He just couldn't finish it off.
All right, again, your champions for the high school state final singles portion of our show. Kylie Trexler, the junior from Hamilton Heights, she defeats Allison Lawson 223 to 167. And the senior out of McCutcheon High School in Lafayette, Javen Dick, defeats Carter Hunt and will claim the title there. We'll be back with interviews with our champions with Mike Albee right after this.
to Indiana State high school champions. I'm going to start with Kylie. Kylie, great bowling out there. You made some wonderful shots. When you left that solid 9 in a title match, what was your thoughts?
All I could do was laugh, really, because I mean, I don't leave them all the time, but it's just funny when I do. I just had to go up there and throw the same shot, basically, and just pick it up. So
I noticed a smile on your face when you did. That was the perfect way to bounce that off. But you came back with 3 or 4 in a row right after that to win this title. Congratulations on the state championship.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're going to the boys' champion here. Javen, I watched you a little bit this morning, very smooth. You started out the same way, nice and smooth, but you're able to bring the ball back a little bit and get some strikes early on. How did you do that early on to get the strikes to set you up for the title?
I just know this pattern very well after playing it so many times after sectionals, regionals, semi-state. So I was just confident, just a lot of confidence going into it.
Well, we noticed that you'd finished third all the tournaments prior to this, so
Yeah.
you bumped up 2 spots because now you're the state championship. A senior, correct?
Yes, I am.
Very good. What a way to finish. And so, do you have college plans?
Yes, I plan on going to Huntington for film, and I just want to say thank you to my lovely family and friends coming out, because
Well, congratulations to both of our state champions. Well represented today. Great job, and we'll see you next year, Kylie. Great job, guys.
All right, your champions again, both on the boys and girls side. Javen Dick, the senior out of McCutcheon High School, and Kylie Trexler, the junior out of Hamilton Heights. And back here in the broadcast booth, Mike, that quick trip there on the interview, and man, you're fast. You're back up here in the broadcast booth. Scott Gilmore, PBA Hall of Famer Mike Albee, and Mike. Both players really calm right there and cool and collected, right?
Yeah, they really were, and sometimes we've had our champions who are a little apprehensive about speaking on television, I guess, but we are well represented here in the state of Indiana. Javen Dick, beautiful bowling out there, and he's got film aspirations, it sounds like, but what a great job that he did out there bowling. And we talked briefly about Kylie out there. She just needed to make better shots the last game, and boy, did she make better shots. Strike solid 9, 4-bagger or whatever it was to win the state championship. We could see her here again next year.
Yeah, she shot 235, 189, 223 in her 3 games. So she got quite comfortable with the TV pair, and you could just tell the nerves were calm, and she was really determined to claim that championship.
Yeah, she just kind of make one shot at a time, let the solid 9 roll right off of her, and just came back pounding, and just what a great champion.
Yeah, I always love the singles portion of the show. It allows us to get better familiar with each player and each individual, and congratulations to both Javen and Kylie. And we'll be back here later this afternoon. Around 4 o'clock, we'll be here for the team portion of the state championships, both the boys and the girls. And as you know, Mike, that's going to be it's organized chaos, right?
It is quite busy. Yeah, it's exciting. The Baker format is one of the most exciting formats there is, and it'll be the same today. No matter what the scores are, it's exciting.
Hey, we also want to thank Deandra Asbeatty for stepping in here with us during the telecast, and what an ambassador she is for the sport.
She is one of the people here in our industry that you just love, because not only did she do well and still does well on the lanes throwing the ball, but she gives back, and she's helping the youth, which is what the sport needs. And yeah, she's wonderful and does a great job. So if you're out there and you do want a chance at her elite tour in the Chicago area, I recommend it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be back again at 4 o'clock for the team portion of the state championships. We hope you stick around and come back with us then. We thank you for watching the singles portion. Once again, your champion on the boys' side, Javen Dick. Your girls' champion, Kylie Trexler. For Chad Lester, Mike Albee, and Scott Gilmore, we'll see you later on here from Pro Bowl West at the Indiana High School Bowling State Championships. So long, everyone.